Welcome to the Pi Bytes Confidence Training. This is Bob and Julian, and today we want to teach you or prevent you from imposter syndrome holding you back. It's a common issue. We hear it a lot, but it can be resolved, and we want to help you guys to work on it.
Yes, welcome everyone. We're going to walk you through this nice and quick, so let's get started. So what is imposter syndrome? As per the Internet Dictionary, our favorite kind, it's the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. So that is a really roundabout way of saying that you're not confident in yourself. You have no confidence.
Yep. And it's a real thing. Look at Guido from Rossum himself saying imposter syndrome is real. And I think he also said once it will actually never go away. So there's not really a shame in this. And I think people don't really talk a lot about it because, they think it's something only they have. But very experienced people actually suffer from it. And it's totally fine, as we will discover soon.
So imposter syndrome, the first thing you need to remember is that it's never actually going to go away. It's not something you can get rid of 100%, because if you think about it, as you start achieving things, the more you achieve, the, better you're going to be, and then you're going to hit it again. Am I still that good? Am I really that good? So the key thing is to remember it never goes away, and that you actually need to embrace it. You need to accept it. It's part of your life. It's part of you. It's part of us as people, and you're always going to have to deal with it. So just embrace it and accept it.
And it's often a good sign because it means you're doing something that's outside of your comfort zone. So it's guiding you to a higher level. And it's also a good sign. It means that you care about the quality of your work. And that, of course, will set you apart. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better." I mean, we've been there, right, Julian? That, in the past, we were victims. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this so difficult? And that really doesn't get you anywhere, right? You better just start working on your skills and become that better version of yourself, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there's a point where you have to stop being the victim and realize that you have a choice. This is all in your control at some point. It really is. And you are the only one who can change it. So at the end of the day, a lot of it is just fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear that you're not good enough. It's all in your head, and it's all something you have to conquer.
So if you want to feel more confident, you can actually work on it. As Julian said, it's in your control. And it all starts with setting a goal, not just a goal, but think big. And then you plan it out over the months to come, the actions you will take every month to get closer to that goal. Then you break that down in weeks. You plan out your week and you plan out your day. And you stick to your plan, because we found that the more confident we are when we actually follow our plan, be accountable to each other, to Pi Bytes, to ourselves, and execute every day. And we also do a time audit to keep track of where our time is going. Anything to add to that, Julian?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I want you to consider here is that, yes, you're setting a goal, all of that stuff you're planning out, but at the end of the day, all of these things are in your control. You're planning out the actions you're going to take. You're deciding what they're going to be. You're reviewing your week, which you would have planned out in advance. You're planning these days out. You're in control of your actions. So therefore, when you get to the point where you have to execute, you know what you have to do because you planned it the day before, the week before, the month before. So it takes away the fear, because you don't have to make a decision. You've already done that in advance. Your previous self has done it. So you're in control. It helps you build that confidence. You go straight into your day thinking, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to accomplish it. And I'm going to plan out what I do tomorrow. So there's no more thinking, past tense. There's no, what should I have done today? Or what am I going to do today? There's none of that uncertainty. You've planned it, you're confident, and therefore You're going to be accountable to yourself and yourself only.
Yep. Again, remember that success happens outside of your comfort zone. Like we are saying to each other, if you're not getting uncomfortable every week, you're probably not making enough progress.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly
Scary, right?
The second we just fall into the plain day-to-day and nothing exciting happens, we're not uncomfortable, we're just cruising, that's pretty much when we find ourselves at our most bored. And that's where we think, what's next? What are we going to do? Well, it's because we're in that comfort zone. We're not pushing ourselves outside of the status quo. And it's a really important thing to remember that is when, and look back on your life so far, every bit of success you've had would have happened when you're outside of your comfort zone. Whether you pushed yourself harder and ran a race, whether you applied for a job you didn't think you'd ever get, even if you just started talking to someone you never thought you'd be friends with, you pushed yourself outside of that comfort zone, and there you are with that success. And so on that note, like we've just mentioned, you are the only one who can change that. We can tell you to do this stuff as much as we want, but at the end of the day, you can either just close this video and get back to work, fall asleep on the train, or you can do something about it. You can decide you're going to get to work, you're going to make a list of everything you're going to accomplish today, and then you're going to stick with it. So try and do these things. You're the only person who can push yourself outside of that comfort zone to make these changes for yourself.
Yep. And don't procrastinate on your dreams. Those things can be huge and they seem like a big mountain, but it's important to gain small wins at the start, and then you gain momentum, then it becomes a flywheel. And what is often stopping us from getting there is perfectionism. And we quote here an example we often hear, like, I need to do X, Y, Z before being good enough to even apply for a job. And often that's not the case, because once you start interviewing, you actually learn what you're doing wrong or what you can improve, and then you can start to iterate and become better. And if you're not taking that action to go to your first interview, you would never know. So you basically stall your progress.
Yeah, the reality is with perfectionism, if you wait until you're perfect, which is never, ever going to happen, you will never be able to achieve anything. So if you wait till you're perfectly good at Python, well, sorry, Python keeps changing, it keeps iterating, it keeps improving, and new updates come out all the time. So you're never going to be perfect at it. And if you wait until you're perfect to apply for that Python job, well, that job's going to go. Someone else is going to snap it up. Someone who is happy to be outside their comfort zone, who isn't waiting till they're perfect to apply for it.
Yeah, it's better to take imperfect action than do nothing at all. Make it before you make it.
Make it before you
nice
make
segue,
it.
right?
Exactly.
I mean, some skills are only gained by getting out there. We put a few examples on here. For example, I migrated to Spain in 15 years ago. I could speak it kinda, but I had a hard time understanding the Madrileños or the people from Madrid. That was uncomfortable, and I was like, I had to defend myself there. And but yeah, after a month, I could successfully do that. And I went through that process, through that pain, outside of my comfort zone, and eventually got there.
Yeah, it's amazing, man, because I can't even pronounce that. So, all right, so my first one here is that PyBites. You think about it, so when we started PyBites, I mean, Bob, you knew a little bit of Python, you'd been programming for a few years, but I'd never been a coder. I didn't even know the Python language, and yet here I was starting a blog where I'm essentially teaching people how to code in Python. So that's a huge fake it before you make it step. It was just a imposter syndrome nagging at me the whole time. Are you sure you're good enough to do this? But just did it. And look where we are now.
Yeah, man, that's huge. Yeah, I got another example, like presented before a group of people. I mean, I have that typical fear of public speaking many people have. And yeah, very tough. The funny thing, though, is that I thought I sucked. And then later I asked for feedback, and people actually said, well, you look very confident. And I go, oh, okay, cool. So by getting out there and asking for feedback, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, that's one of the hardest ones to do, presenting, right? So in my last example here is, without going into too much detail, Sun Microsystems, the age-old IT company, I started my career as an intern there, and I landed that by applying for the internship, and I got it. I didn't have any prior technical training to do with servers, to do with data centers or anything like that. I didn't have any information technology degrees or experience. I was pretty much fresh out of high school. And I managed to get it by going in there and just being passionate and confident and just loving computers and IT, everything IT. And that's what got me through the door. And I actually ended up beating out people who had gone to university and were midway through their degrees. But it was just through that pure enthusiasm and passion that I managed to get my foot in the door there. And that's my entire career is just branched from there.
Dude, that's amazing. You forget the most important part.
What's that?
Without Sun Microsystems, we wouldn't have known each other.
I wouldn't say it's the most important bit. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's where we met.
Successful. What is this?
So this is pretty much how you're going to keep motivated. It's going to be how you remind yourself that you are worthy. You are worthy of your position, of your skills, of where you're at in life. The thing that imposter syndrome is trying to drag you back from, this is what you're going to look at to remind yourself that, no, hang on. Imposter syndrome, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I'm actually worthwhile. I'm worthy of this. So when you have a success, write it down somewhere. Staple it, stick it on the wall, put it somewhere visual, and check back on it every week. Remind yourself of the things you've achieved. Remind yourself that you've landed jobs before, that you've created certain applications, even just things in your personal life, that you've helped people, that you're a good person, that you, have managed to stick in a relationship, something, whatever it is that you're proud of. Give yourself that success wall. Give yourself that ability to prove to yourself that you are better than the imposter syndrome leads you to believe.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff. You want to think outside of the box, because this is not necessarily only work related. This can be anything in your life, and it's so easy to forget. I'm sure you're doing this as well, Julian, right? We have this noted down, and we look at this regularly, and I'm just amazed how quickly you forget these things and how pumped up you get when you read about it and how it boosts your confidence,
And don't just take the big wins. Landing jobs, it's a big deal, right? But take the little ones as well. Those little steps that you achieve, that you're setting out for yourself, take those as well. Those are really big deals. Just getting a little project over the line that you had to do, helping someone out with their homework or with something that they're doing in their backyard, whatever it is, something that made you feel good. That's a success, and it should be a success, and it should be something that you celebrate. So I expect everyone watching this to grab a notebook or something, write down the successes that you can remember, and then as you achieve things, put them in there, and before long you'll be flicking through this book on a Friday night going, damn, I'm awesome. I'm really good, aren't I? And that's what's going to get you through this imposter syndrome as well.
Guys, are you not making notes? Stop the video right now and please go write down your successes. Seriously.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, and not to blow my own horn, right? But sometimes you also see trends. Like, for example, my first job when I was younger, I literally asked the manager of a clothing store if I could work there. Then I started to notice that trend that you can just ask for things, which I think is on the next slide, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Why, yes, I think it is. Let's have a look. There you go.
There you go. Often we're afraid to ask for something. We think it will look dumb or that's a stupid question, but often it's not. And actually by asking, you show that you're a leader, because good leaders ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think the biggest thing that holds us back from asking questions, from asking people for help, is because you feel like you're a pain, like you're bothering them. And I like to challenge that with the reverse. When people ask you for your opinion, or when they ask you for help, how good does it make you feel? Especially when you're able to help them. If you can honestly help another human being, there's just this almost inexplainable feeling of awesomeness that you get, whether it be charitable, whatever. But the reality is when someone asks you for help, you feel valued. You feel value. You feel amazing, that you can help them, that someone is coming to you. So give someone else that gift of being able to help you. Give them that opportunity to teach. It makes them a better teacher, it makes them a better person. It challenges them to think, to regurgitate what it is that they already know into a way that can help you understand. So it helps them grow and it helps you grow. It's a very, symbiotic relationship. And this is why we love to teach, because we learn so much from it. And we also love to ask. We love to learn. We love to talk to people. And we like to think that we're not bothering people. If we have bothered you, don't tell us, because we don't want to know.
And talk to your manager, right? You can only improve if you know where you are. But there might also be opportunities in your job or company that you just don't know about. And talking about what you're good at, what you like, what you want to improve, your manager can match that with existing opportunities.
Yep, exactly. Your manager should be one of your biggest fans and one of your biggest support structures. So make sure you talk to your manager, don't be afraid of them, and just get involved. See what you can do.
Homework, our favorite part.
Exactly.
Because none of this matters if you don't take massive action.
Exactly right. So, number one, do something outside of your comfort zone. I mean, that's the first thing. Scare yourself. Do it. I mean, I'm not saying go abseiling or jump out of a plane, but do something like go and ask someone for help. Go and talk to someone about Python, something that might scare you because you feel like you're not good enough to talk about it. But you'd be surprised what you've picked up and you know. So do something outside of your comfort zone. Number two.
Dude, you remember how we started our code challenges?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
The coffee challenge?
You want to tell them what it is really quick?
Yeah, so now again I had this outside of your comfort zone, or Tim Ferriss actually said you just go lay down somewhere and looking very odd, or Joe Kagan said, go into Starbucks and ask a discount on your next coffee, right? Which totally, you only think about it, that really induces fear, right? But it makes a point.
Yeah, it makes a point that you can push yourself outside of your comfort zone and actually have success. Odds are they'll probably look at you like you're crazy, but the reality is at some point it's going to work and you're going to get that discount. But the reality is if you didn't ask, you weren't going to get it. So push yourself outside of that comfort zone, ask for help, talk to people, do something. But if you don't do it, you're never going to know. All right, so number two, the next bit of homework. Once you've done that, report that win, or just any win in general, I guess. Any win that you have as a result of this video, go into our Slack channel, our check-ins and wins, and check it out. Let us know. We want to hear about it. We want you to tell us what that win is. I mean, that might be outside of your comfort zone as well. Sharing in a public forum like that can be daunting, but do it. We're all friendly. We're all human. We all love it. All the people in Slack are enthusiastic about Python and PyBites and what we do, and we really want you to be part of that. So get in there and contribute. Report that win.
Yeah, you will be amazed by how supportive our community actually is and how much they will applaud it. And you will set yourself apart as a leader because of what you do and report there will inspire other people.
All right. So this is the next step. If you want some more coaching on this, book a strategy session. There's almost no if about it. Just do it. We provide some amazing coaching. We want to help you. We understand the pain, the fear, the confidence hits that you've all gone through, and we want to help. So go to that link, go.oncehub.com/PyBites, and book a strategy session with us. If the slots are filled, just wait. More slots are opening up every week. So go there, take some action. This could even be that thing that's outside of your comfort zone. Book the call and talk with both myself or Bob directly, and we'll walk you through some of your pain points and really dive into what it is that you're struggling with at the moment. We'd love to help.
Indeed. Well, I think that's a wrap.
One more.
Sorry. Okay. What's that? Ryan Holiday. I know this guy has an amazing email list about cool books he reads, but he's also an author, and we found a very applicable title. The Obstacle is the Way. And it's all about embracing the obstacle and use it to your advantage, becoming uncomfortable.
If you love to read, definitely get the book. Give it a read. This is something that you can read to help you get past that imposter syndrome with some pretty actionable stuff in there as well. So it's definitely worth a read.
Awesome. Well, go crush it this week, this month, and please report back. We love to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to see you in that Slack channel, check-ins and wins. So get in there, get the stuff done, get your homework done, take some action. Let this be that first small step that you take to beating that imposter syndrome. And we will see you on those strategy sessions. So make sure you sign up and we'll give you a call. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.